Right, it is 11 o'clock, so we can get going. Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Rolnicki. I am the Partner Sales and Marketing Manager here at Chris Services Group. Today, we're very excited to bring you our Streamlining Your Recruiting Process using Microsoft Power Platform webinar. Alongside me is Sai Yanamandra, who will be presenting from a technical standpoint after we get through the intro here. Next slide, please. Can you hop to the next slide, please?
Yeah, I've already changed it, Christopher.
Oh, okay, must be on a delay on my screen then. That is okay. So, okay. Excuse me. All right. So who are we at Chris? Here at Chris Services Group, we are Microsoft Gold partners who specialize predominantly in two areas, those being the Azure DevOps side of the world, which will not be the focus of our call today, and Microsoft 365, be that migrations, be that enablement, be that, anything you can imagine within Microsoft 365. And so the focus of today is going to be Power Platform specifically. So within Microsoft 365 itself, there's a wide range of services available. Within those, there's Microsoft Power Platform. And so what Microsoft Power Platform does, is it lets you automate your business processes, make things a little more efficient depending on your use case. Apologies here. Okay. Sorry, I think Sai's having a sharing issue here, guys. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I partner with Krish. We're a trusted DevOps partner. So we have a bunch of developers in-house with multiple cloud certifications. We're like I said, we're Microsoft Gold partners for application development, integration, as well as collaboration and content. So that's what we're going to be talking about today: is how does Power Platform fit within the Microsoft 365 ecosystem? How can it be used to streamline manual processes, especially without having to jump into third-party software. We're talking about a specific use case here. So you can hop to the next slide. We're talking about a specific use case here, which is how do you use one more to the agenda, please. Talking about a specific use case here, which is how would you use Microsoft Power Platform to build build an in-house application essentially that will allow you to streamline a process from end to end. So what Sai will be taking you through today is how we use Microsoft Power Platform within Microsoft 365 to streamline our own internal recruitment process. How this can apply to your organization, perhaps it's this specific use case, which is which would be recruiting. But how it could apply to your organization is just anywhere there's a ton of manual steps that are eating up your team's day. We can use Microsoft Power Platform as a whole, and so that includes Forms, Power Apps, Power Virtual Agents, Power Automate, Power BI, to streamline those processes and automate as much as possible, saving your employees time, making their lives easier, and overall making your organization more efficient. So what Sai will be talking through is the current problem statement, our in-house solution that we've created. Like I said, you can apply this to any of your processes. How we can solve this problem, we'll be demoing it, and then at the end, we'll just give a general overview of Power Platform. Afterwards, there will be a general Q&A session. But I encourage anyone who has any questions to ask those in the chat at any point during the presentation, and we will get to responding as quickly as possible. Sai, take us away.
Yeah. Can you see the slide change?
Yep.
Am I audible clearly? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi everyone. This is Sai. Sai Anmara here. I'll just take you through the pain points that we have faced in our current recruitment process at Krish first, and then I'll take you through the process of how we have improved this process by way of implementing a solution using Power Platform. So if we look at the current solution, actually, these are the challenges we had. So in our current process, we didn't have any central place where all the information is stored with respect to recruitment process. So that is one major drawback that we had. Then the current trackers, what we maintain for the purpose of recruitment, do not have, are not easily readable. We had multiple tracker sheets maintained in Excel, and there are we don't have any information about what interview is scheduled on which day and things like that. So there is no ready reckoner available to see the information at one place. And of course, because of these two problems, we don't have any mechanisms to put in some queries like simple queries, like how many openings are currently there and how many applications we have received for the currently active position. So there is simply no mechanism available for that. Then one of the other major problem was because the data was being entered manually. So it is up to the HR executive on how the data is entered in Excel sheets or spreadsheets. Uh, so sometimes actually years will be put as YEARS and sometimes it can be YRS. So there is a lot of issue. There are a lot of issues with respect to the quality of data that is getting into the system. Then we have, there was no data structuring of data actually. So what we just received from our vendors or from our references was just entered into some spreadsheets, and we just schedule the interviews via Outlook, the regular mechanisms, and hence there's no structure in place. Then the main issue is, lack of transparency. So if the management wants to get an overview of what is happening with respect to a given position, so they have no clue currently until they talk to the concerned HR executive, and even the HR executive herself has to go through several emails and trackers to get this information for the management. So these are all the major challenges what we faced with the current process of recruitment at Krish. So then actually we thought, we should have a solution using Microsoft Power Platform. The reasons why we went ahead with Power Platform is, as we will see. So everybody knows that it's a low code development platform. These days, actually, this is the norm: no code development based platform, because these applications can be realized with very minimum time, and the rate of success is also very high for these applications. And one of the major benefits is that it is well accepted by both businesses and IT. So 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 that is one of the reasons for the popularity of no-code, low-code platforms. Then another major advantage of Power Platform is that, whoever needs to build a solution, he does not need to be a developer. So there's a concept called citizen developer. So as long as you're close to the businesses, to the business where and you have some ideas about how we can improve the solution or bring in a process in place. So I think that should take care of it. Then the third reason is, as I just spoke about, citizen developers. They're because they're closer to the business. They have the exact idea of what needs to be implement. What processes need to be put in place and what things can be automated to avoid the manual work. Then, as I said, these are apps and solutions are also less expensive because they typically take weeks and a few months, couple of months to be realized. So, and also we don't need the expensive programmers to build these solutions, so they are cheaper compared to the regular. When we build a custom application using software developers. Then the next advantage is, apps and solutions are deployed and can be updated faster because now the people who are working in the business in that particular department themselves are aware of the application, so they can quickly fix, for any improvements or any issues that are reported. So the deployments and updates are quicker actually in this case. So now let us go into the details of what components are present in our platform. So I hope you can see the architecture, I mean the building blocks of Power Platform. Christopher, can you confirm?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are the main. So uh, uh, we have what is called as Power Apps and Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power Pages and Power BI. So these are the main building blocks of Microsoft Power Platform. And below these, there are things like data connectors, AI Builder, and Dataverse, which are enabling these building blocks to bring solutions into picture. So these are the main building. We'll see details of these things in the next slide. So at the heart, at the heart of the Power Platform, you can see here. Actually, I'm taking the case of a database called Dataverse. Dataverse is basically a database as a software as a service. So, but Power Platform can work with other databases as well, like SQL Server or SharePoint list or any other database actually on the cloud or on-prem. So there is a Dataverse actually at the heart of the Power Platform, which is actually used to store all the data. Then you have Power Apps, which will actually be the generator of the data. So this is where the forms and views come into picture, and then this will be the user interface for the user. And then we have Power Automate, which will take care of the automation aspects in Power Platform. So it will interact with both Power App as well as the analysis agent, which is Power BI, to automate things. And then we have Power BI, which will take care of all the analysis aspects. So all the analytics can be run using Power BI engine. So Power BI can directly connect to the databases as well as Power Apps to pull in data and then do the analytics. I also want to throw some light on what will happen to the existing data. So even we have faced this problem at Krish. So because we have been running this process manually, we have collected quite an amount of data with respect to recruitment. So there are some benefits actually. Even though we don't have a process in place, so these are the benefits. So we can actually do the data cleansing now when we are importing the current existing historical data into the new solution. And because we are putting together everything in one central repository, that is a Dataverse. So that advantage also we get when we try to import the existing data. Then, as I will show you in the demo, so we have well-defined workflows for different actors like recruiters. The recruiters, and then people who directly apply for the jobs. The job applicants, and then the interview panelists. So because they have well-defined workflows, then data the way the way in which we capture the data in a clean way, and then where we store it in a central place, and from there it will be pulled for analytics. So it's all managed easily. And because we already have structures in place, put structures in place, so the data will be structured uh, from now on, even the historical data. And as I said, because we Power BI can directly connect to this database, we can run AI-based analytics also. So that will pave the way to actually take decisions based on the data, based on historical data, and not take some random decisions. So with the help of AI-based analytics, this is possible. So I just want to show you actually the problems that we faced, and then the solutions what we have. Could we actually solve them using our new solution? So as I said, there was no central location where the data was stored. So with the advent of the new solution, now we have a central database using Dataverse, which is available 24/7, and it also has backup facilities. So there is no chance of losing out any data with respect to recruitment. Then we have issues with quality of data earlier. Now because we have a dedicated well-defined processes and applications in place, so we capture the data in the right format right from the beginning. Like say, when an applicant is trying to log in an application, job application, So he will be forced to enter the data in the right format. Like say, if he has to enter his current CTC, that is a cost to company, he'll be forced to enter only numerics and not any text. So the data will be clean because it will be controlled from the place where it is captured. Then we had issues with lack of transparency. Now because we have connected Power BI to the database, recruitment database. All the reports and dashboards are available for everybody. I mean, for the concerned people to see. Definitely the HR team as well as management. So management do not need to depend on depend on the HR team for getting the data that they require. So they can directly log into the dashboards. And the other major issue was no structure. So with this solution, actually, because we have put a structure in place, I mean, we have put some kind of relational tables. So we have structure in place. So this enables the HR also to traverse to the data, I mean, to the records easily. Like say, if you have a job opening, they can go to the job opening and then they can see how many applications have come for this particular opening, and for a given opening, how many interviews were scheduled, and what I mean on what dates they were scheduled, and what is the current status of the interview. So they can traverse to the data in that fashion because there is a well-defined structure available now. Going forward, actually, I mean, I just wanted to list some more common use cases for Power Platform. So as you can see, we have these are the most common use cases that we can use Power Platform to build to make solutions. So we targeted this one because we really had issues with the way in which we were actually going. So so this is what we will be seeing in the due course of time. So coming to our actual solution, we have spoken about, I mean, the common problems and the way we have solved it. So this is actually our solution. So at this so in our solution we have what is called as a uh, so actually, there is another component in Power Apps, as I explained earlier. It's called Power Pages. So Power Pages actually will enable you to connect to a database, that is the Dataverse, and then it provides an external interface. I mean, interface in the sense it's an externally visible portal. So this can be viewed by uh, people outside the organization. So generally, when you build applications using Power Apps, they are meant to be intranet wide applications. So people within the organization can access these applications that are built using Power Apps, and then they can store the data in a centralized place and then automate certain things. But in this case, we had the requirement of uh, allowing people from outside the organization to submit their job applications. So that is where Power Pages will help. So Power Pages is one of the components in Power Platform, using which you can connect to a database directly, and then it will allow people to interface your database. So you can do all the basic CRUD operations in your database using the Power Pages component. So we have a Power Pages enabled portal, careers portal, which uh, we have linked to our website. So our careers pages in our website is linked to this, and then people can directly submit their job applications through this portal. And at the heart of it, as I said, we have the Dataverse, which is actually storing all the data. And the HR app is the one which is actually implemented as a model-driven app. We will see that in the few minutes from now. So this is the HR app. Yeah. So HR app is at the center of the solution. So this is the one that has all the forms and views that are required for the HR team to go on with their job. And then we have Power Automate also sitting here, which is actually trying to automate certain things like whenever a new job application is posted, HR team will be automatically notified by way of email and also on Teams channel. And then whenever an interview is scheduled, it will automatically send calendar invites to the candidate who is applying for the position, for a particular position, as well as the panelist who is actually marked by HR. So we will see that process. So Power Automate is automating uh, some of the process, all the notifications here, and then we have Power BI here sitting at this, which is directly interfacing with the database for doing all the analytics. It can give. We will see some of the reports that we have built in the due course. So now I would like to jump to the actual demo. So if you can. So can you see my application? Can you see the website?
Yep, we've got it up.
Yeah. So as I said, this is the external facing portal that we have built. So it is currently showing all the current openings at Krish. So actually, we'll be showing you test data after some time, but this is actually the live data that what we have here. So these are the current openings that are available that are open for recruitment at Krish India. So this is how the portal looks like for a person who is actually going to our website and then clicking on careers page. He will come here, and this is how it is visible to external job seekers directly, and then the recruiting agents. We have some vendors actually working for Krish to source the resumes for us, so they can also use this portal to submit their resume. But in the database side, actually, this is how it looks like. So this is the HR application that I was talking about. So this is the application that will be used by HR all the time for going. So as you can see, uh, this application is showing that these are the 5 job openings that are available currently, which is definitely reflected in the portal as well. And if you can see the details, want to see the details of this job opening. So what HR will do is, suppose they wanted to create a new job opening tomorrow, so they can just come here and then they can fill all the details here, and then the moment they save it here, it will be updated on the portal. So that's as simple as that. So they just fill a form internally in the application, and then it is directly visible on the externally facing portal. So as you can see, we see the same details here on the website, right? So the next step is actually to go ahead and how easy it is for an application for a job seeker to go ahead and apply for a job at Krish. So we can actually go ahead. Let's just try it out. So I will go ahead and submit an application at Krish. And we have made this application seamless actually. That means it will work. The interface is designed in such a way that it is applicable for a direct job seeker as well as vendors who work for Krish, and then referrals also within our company. So I'll show you how it works. So I give the basic details first. I go to the experience related details. So as I said, actually, we have defined, all the qualifications that we intend to, recruit at. So this is actually the purpose of this is to keep the data clean. So we'll not get any qualification. Similarly, when we are taking in CTC, we expect, we have already given an example here. So like we want to capture in lakhs. This is how this is mostly used in India. So if somebody wants 7.5 lakhs, so he can just type in a 7.5 lakhs, and then what is the increment, and also the notice period actually. So we have restricted the values that the users can enter to keep the data clean at the time of entry itself. And then experience also, I mean, takes only numericals. Okay. So actually now it went to referral. So referral is, I mean, for internal referrals at Krish. So whoever is referring a particular employee, sorry, a particular profile can actually put in their own email. So we accept only Krish emails here. So for now, I'll skip this. I will try to enter the job as a. So we have for the purpose of demos and for testing, we have created a test vendor. So that's what will be the data that I'll be showing you for today, because this solution I have filtered out all the vendor. So this is one of the vendors that I will put in. But in the actual real world, I mean, in actual use case, we have given different codes for different vendors, and when they are trying to submit profiles for consideration in Krish, they'll have to key in their correct vendor code here. So that is the instruction that we have given to all our recruiting vendors. Then we can also choose a file. So we can choose an attachment and then submit. So now the application has been submitted. Now let's go and see if we have received this application in the portal, in the database. So I've filtered out only the I mean, I'm filtering only the test applications here. And as you can see, this is the application I've just submitted now. So that is 8th of March at 9:54 p.m. local time. So this is the details that I've keyed in. I can go ahead and see the details. So by this time, actually, I mean, the HR team might have got the email notification. I'm not showing them because I'm not configured there. But they'll get the email now that there is an application that was submitted for this particular job opening. This is one of the active openings what we saw on the portal. So you can see that this is the this is where I started filling the application. So for this application, I've received an for this opening, I've received an application now, and the status is just applied. Now the next step will be for the HR to start the interviews process. So how will they do that? So they can come here. So it's a intuitive UI actually. I mean, this is called a model driven app. So what you're seeing here is called a model driven app, which is one of the types of Power Apps. So there are two types of Power Apps. One is Canvas app, and the other one is model driven app. We thought, and we evaluated our use case, and then we thought model driven app will suit better for our purpose. So in the case of model driven app, you don't have to do much of UI development. I mean, because that if you have a structured data, all this UI will be most of the UI will be provided by the platform for you. So now I'll come here and then I'll try to create a new interview. So I'll select the type of interview. I'll select screening for now. Then I can search the panelist. So I mean, so these are all the panelists that are already loaded in the system. Sorry. So HR, I mean, these are the panelists that are currently loaded in the system. But HR can actually, this is a self-help application. So they can go to a menu called panels. I mean, and then they can update the panelists themselves actually. So I select my name for now. Then I will schedule an interview for today. P.M. And I'll also select the duration. So these are the details that the HR has to fill. Now, these details actually will come from the panelist, but so that's why they're logged now. So they're not available for the panelist to view. So I will just submit these details and I'll save it. So now there is an interview record that's created. Record in the sense there is an interview that is scheduled with this panelist. So now I'll show you the email that I received as a candidate actually, because I put in my personal email ID as a candidate. So I should get one email as a candidate, and I also should get another email as a panelist. So this is the email I got as a candidate. So as you can see, it's scheduled properly. It's a calendar invite that is scheduled to my personal email. So the date and time, whatever I've keyed in, is coming correctly here. So it's scheduled on 8th of March at 10 p.m. for 1 hour actually. So I can accept or reject at this stage. So it's also in my yeah. Yeah, I think this is some setting in Google. So if I just say I know the sender, then it will be added to my calendar as well. So as you can see, it's added to my Google Calendar already. Uh, Now I'll show the email that I've got as a recruiter. So this is the email that I got only to me, that was sent only to me as a panelist. So I got the profile of the candidate. So I double click on this email and then I can see the profile of the candidate, right? And then I also have a link using which I can submit my feedback. So this is one email I get, and the other email is the direct calendar invite. So this is the other one that I got along with the applicant. So this is a calendar invite that I get directly using a Teams link. So this is a Teams calendar invite what we are generating behind the scenes using Power Automate Flow. So I can use this link to join the call, conduct the interview, and then note my comments. Then I'll come to this email, and then I can click on this link to submit my feedback. So there is no exchange of feedback now by way of emails or phone calls with HR team. So I directly come here and then I can use this link, come here, and then I can see again the candidate's details here. Like if I want, I can also open his profile, and then I can say if he's recommended for the next round. I can also upload a picture of the candidate if I have captured one during the interview. So that facility is also available, and I can give my comments here. So the feedback has been submitted. And how do I verify that? So I can come look at the record again. So as you can see, the comments are captured and the status is also changed to recommended. So everything at one place. I mean, so if I can show you the hierarchy, so we have started from the job openings. So from the job openings, I have submitted an application here, right? So I mean, these are other applications that we have received. So from the job openings, we can see the related applications. And then from the applications, I can also see when I take one singular application, then I can also see the related interviews. So this is at the application level, right? So all the data is captured in one place, and the HR team need not go anywhere else. Even they don't even need to open their Outlook to check mails or anything like that. Only for notifications they need to use Outlook, but all other activities are possible from this application. And now let us look at the reports, Power BI, I mean, the reports what we have built. So So as I said, actually, I filtered out all the other production live data. So I filtered it out only for the test vendor what we have. So we have dashboards like this. So we can show the total number of use cases. Probably, I think, uh, because of we have limited number of test records, so you're not able to appreciate the entire data. But this is this at this level, we'll get a summary of how many total number of applications we got, how many referrals, or how many are from vendors, and we can also see how many active job openings are there. Then, yeah, so we can see. I mean, because we work with multiple vendors, we can also see all the vendors here actually. But because I filtered it out, we can only see test vendors here. So all these are the test data what we have fed into the system. So we can see from each vendor how many profiles have come from for which job opening, and then we can also filter out records like this, job applications like this. Then yeah, we can also filter out based on the job opening what kind of records we got. So it's the same. It's basically same. Then the interesting thing is this one actually. The interesting that thing report for the HR will be active job openings report. So here actually these are the current active job openings what we have got. And then probably if the management wants to see what is the interview status, I mean how many candidates did we interview for closing this particular opening, so they can just come here and then select a particular job opening. So all the applications that we have received for this particular opening will be shown here, right? And then for each, I mean again at this level, if I click on a particular job application, then we can see how many interviews have been conducted so far for this particular candidate. So, and what is the status? So this gives a hierarchy of what the system that we have built. So this is very useful for HR team as well as management to just know the complete status in one report. Then we also have built reports that will give a summary of all the interviews. So we can do some analytics like, I mean, how many total hours are spent for all the interviews so far, and who is the busiest panelist, and totally how many panelists are there, how many total interviews are conducted, I mean, process currently, and how much time we are spending monthly for only for recruitment. So all this kind of analytics we can build. I mean, we can get from this particular report, and then we can also see the interview schedule. Like say HR just wants to see how many interviews are scheduled for this week, so they can come and have that information also from here. So it opens up a lot of possibilities actually, because the data is now directly connected to database is directly connected with Power BI. So we can do a lot of analytics, and yeah, using this actually, I mean, we can keep improving our process. I mean, like say, if this panelist is very busy, so I mean, we should actually try to get more panelists in place, or reduce the load on him with respect to interviews. So all these decisions can be taken looking at the data now, which was earlier not possible. So I think I've given an overview of the entire system what we have here. Now do we have any questions coming on the chat? Sai?
No, we're good on the chat right now. I think just getting that last, kind of the why Power Platform portion here. Then we'll finish up. I'll unmute everyone and we can hop to just an open Q&A. Okay. Well, I think that pulls us through the main, kind of the main presentation here. And so really, as I was driving at this entire time, you can use Microsoft Power Platform to streamline any internal processes that might be eating up a lot of manual time on your employees' parts. And so obviously the use case here was this recruiting process, but this can be applied to any business function that you have, be it we've seen marketing approvals, onboarding, offboarding, anything within that realm that requires a lot of manual steps. Power Platform can be tailored to fit whatever that specific need is. I guess with all of that in mind, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for joining today. And then if anyone has any questions here, I'm gonna open up mics for everyone, and if you want a chance to just talk through any questions that may have come up, we'd be happy to take a few minutes to allow that. Otherwise, thank you again for attending. So everyone has everyone has the ability to talk now. If you have any questions, please put them forward. Otherwise, again, thank you.